You made a mistake, not a small one, a real one, a bad decision, a wrong call, handled something poorly. And now you're spiraling. Did I just lose all of my credibility? Do they still respect me? Maybe I'm not cut out for this. This episode is about what to do when you mess up and why your mistakes might be your most important leadership moments. This episode is about what to do when you mess up and why your mistakes might be the most important leadership moments you ever experience. Here's what happens when you make a mistake as a leader. Your brain goes into overdrive. You replay it constantly. Why did I do that? What was I thinking? Everyone's talking about me. I've lost their trust. My career is over. You avoid the people involved. I can't face them. They must think I'm incompetent. And here's the worst part. You think you're the only one. Everyone else seems to have it all together. They didn't make mistakes like this. They're confident, decisive, flawless. That's the lie perfectionism tells you. And it's keeping you stuck. Because here's the truth. Every leader makes mistakes, every single one. The difference between good leaders and great leaders isn't that great leaders don't make mistakes. It's that great leaders know how to recover from them. I'm Dr. Tonya Biglow. I've coached technical professionals through mistakes that almost ended their career. And I've watched them come back stronger because of how they handled it. And here's what I need you to understand. Your mistakes don't disqualify you from leadership. How you handle your mistakes defines your leadership. A leader who never admits mistakes, that's not strong, that's fragile. A leader who makes a mistake owns it, fixes it, and learns from it. That's resilience. And resilience is what teams actually need. Because if you can't handle making a mistake, you can't handle leading. Leadership is messy. Decisions are made with incomplete information. You will get things wrong. The question isn't, will I make mistakes? The question is, how will I handle them when I do? Let me show you how to recover. Here's how you recover from a leadership mistake without losing credibility. Step one, acknowledge it quickly. Don't hide. The first instinct when you make a mistake is to minimize it, deflect it, or hope no one notices. Don't do that. The cover up is always worse than the mistake. When you make a mistake, acknowledge it quickly and publicly to whomever was affected. Not by saying, oh, mistakes were made. That's passive and vague. No, be direct. I made a mistake. Own it. Use I language. Be specific about what you did wrong. I made the call to move forward without getting input from the team. That was wrong. Not things didn't go as planned. That's vague. Don't make excuses. Not I was under a lot of pressure. Not I didn't have all the information. Those might be true, but leading with excuses sounds like you're not taking responsibility. Do it quickly. The longer you wait, the more it looks like you were trying to hide it. Acknowledge it the same day, if possible, within 24 hours at most. Quick acknowledgement shows, I see what happened, I'm taking responsibility, I'm not hiding. Step two, apologize without over apologizing. Here's where most leaders get it wrong. They either don't apologize at all because they're too proud, or they apologize too much and then undermine their own authority. Here's how to apologize effectively. Apologize once and clearly. I'm sorry, that was my mistake and it affected the team. Not, I'm so sorry, I'm really sorry, I can't believe I did that, I'm such an idiot. Over apologizing makes people uncomfortable and makes you look insecure. Apologize once, mean it, and move on. Focus on the impact, not your feelings. I'm sorry for the confusion this caused and the extra work it created for you. Not, I feel terrible about this. I haven't slept. I'm so embarrassed. They don't need to manage your emotions about your mistake. Focus on the impact on them, not your guilt. Don't ask for forgiveness or reassurance. Not, can you forgive me? Not, we're still okay, right? That puts emotional labor on them. Don't do that. Apologize, take responsibility, and then move on to fixing it. Step three, fix it or explain why it can't be fixed. An apology without action is just words. After acknowledging and apologizing, immediately move to, here's what I'm doing to fix this. I'm going to state the specific action, to address the impact. Reversing the decision and going back to previous approach. I'm reaching out to the affected parties to make this right. Specific actions, not vague promises. If you can't fix it, explain why and what you're doing instead. I can't undo this decision, but here's what I'm doing to mitigate the impact. The damage is done, but here's how we're moving forward. Honesty about what's fixable and what's not builds trust. Include others in the solution if appropriate. I like your input on how to handle this moving forward. What would help address the impact this created for you? This shows I made a mistake, but I'm not too proud to ask for help to fix it. Step 4, learn from it and share what you learned. This is all about growth. Here's what separates a mistake from a pattern: learning. After you've acknowledged, apologized, and fixed it, ask yourself, what was I trying to achieve? What was my intent? What goal was I working towards? What did I miss or misunderstand? What information didn't I have? What did I not consider? What will I do differently next time? Specifically, not be more careful. Next time, I'll get input from the team before making this kind of decision. Next time, I'll wait 24 hours before responding to something emotionally charged. Then, and this is important, share what you learned. With your team, here's what I learned from this mistake. With your manager, here's how I'm adjusting my approach based on what happened. Sharing what you learned shows this wasn't just a mistake. This was a learning opportunity. I'm not defensive. I'm reflective. I'm committed to growth, not perfection. Step 5, move forward. Don't keep apologizing. Here's where leaders sabotage their own recovery. They keep bringing it up. Week later, I'm still so sorry about that mistake I made. A month later, I know I really messed up that time. Stop it. You acknowledged it. You apologized. You fixed it. You learned from it. Now move forward. Continuing to apologize signals, I still don't trust that I've recovered from this. And if you don't trust it, your team won't either. Instead, demonstrate through your actions that you've learned. Make the better decision next time. Show you've integrated the lesson. Lead with the confidence that comes from having recovered from a mistake. That's how you rebuild credibility. Not by continuing to apologize, by showing you learned and grew. Now let me tell you the biggest mistake leaders make about mistakes. They think mistakes disqualify them from leadership. Here's what your brain tells you after you mess up. They lost respect for me. They're questioning whether I should still be in this role. I've proven I'm not ready. That's not what actually happened. Your team isn't watching to see if you're perfect. They already know you're not. They're watching to see if you're honest, if you can own your mistake, if you can recover with grace, if you are human. And when you handle a mistake well, you actually build more credibility than if you never made a mistake at all. Because now they know this is a real leader. This leader is honest. This leader takes responsibility. That's the leader people follow, not the one who's perfect, the one who's resilient. Now, here's the distinction that matters. There's a difference between a mistake and a pattern. A mistake is one time or extremely rare. You acknowledge it quickly, you take responsibility, you fix it, you learn from it, and you don't repeat it. A pattern is a repeated behavior. You minimize or deflect. You make excuses, you don't change, it keeps happening. Your team can forgive a mistake. They can't tolerate patterns. So if you notice you're making the same mistake repeatedly, that's not a mistake anymore. That's a pattern. And patterns require different action. Get coaching, get feedback, change your systems, address the root cause. But one mistake handled well doesn't define your leadership. It refines it. Here's what happens when you handle mistakes with honesty and grace. Your team trusts you more, not less, more, because they see you're human, honest, and accountable. You model the behavior you want from them. And when you own your mistakes, your team learns it's safe to own theirs. You create a culture where people can take risk and learn. You build resilience. The first mistake you recover from is hard. The second is easier. By the 10th, you know, I can handle this. I've done it before. You stop living in fear of messing up. Because you know mistakes don't end your career. They're just parts of leadership. And here's the surprising truth. Some of your most powerful leadership moments will come from how you handle your mistake, not from your successes, from your recovery. Because that's when your team sees this leader is real. This leader is resilient. This leader is worth following. Here's what I want you to do. If you made a mistake recently and haven't acknowledged it, do it today. Use the framework. Acknowledge, apologize once, fix it, share what you learned, don't let it sit. Number 2, if you're still beating yourself up about the past mistake, stop. Ask yourself, did I acknowledge it, apologize, fix it, learn from it? If yes, move forward. Show through your actions that you learned. And thirdly, download the Mistake Recovery Framework. The link is in the description. It includes scripts for acknowledging mistakes, apology templates, and reflection questions. And drop a comment. What's a mistake you made as a leader, and what did you learn from it? Your story might help someone else who's spiraling right now. Normalize mistakes. They're a part of leadership. You're not disqualified from leadership because you made a mistake. You're qualified for leadership because you know how to recover from one. Perfect leaders don't exist. Resilient leaders do. And resilient leaders are built through mistakes, not avoiding and never making them. Your team doesn't need a leader who's flawless. They need a leader who's honest, accountable, and human. And that's you. Even when you mess up, especially when you mess up. We've covered a lot in this series: isolation, cultural bias, delegation, burnout, difficult conversations, and mistakes. All the gaps nobody talks about. In our next episode, the finale, we're bringing it all together. The complete responsibility to impact model, the framework that integrates everything you've learned, the leadership approach that works when you're navigating all of these gaps. This is what it's all been building towards. The complete model, the full framework. That's our next episode. I'm Tonya Biglow. This is the leadership gap nobody talks about. You're going to make mistakes. That's not a question. The question is, how will you handle them? Now you know. Let's keep closing the gaps together.